A freight wagon, pulled by a determined team of mules, rumbles down the dusty main street of Bodie, California, around 1880. It's the peak of the gold rush era, and Bodie is alive with miners, merchants, and dreams of fortune, one of the West's most vibrant boomtowns. In Adams County, Wisconsin, a family stands proudly before their humble home, frozen in time around 1910. Meanwhile, back in 1898, a stylish couple strolls arm in arm through downtown Killeen, Texas, sharing a rare, joyful pause from the demands of daily life. In 1906, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, striking sugar refinery workers and their families rallied together in solidarity. A year later, in Indianapolis, a barefoot newsboy stares solemnly into the lens, his eyes reflecting the struggle of countless children forced to grow up too soon. In the early 1900s Old West, four women dressed in pristine white pose gracefully in a horse-drawn carriage. But elsewhere, in 1913 Texas, a very different scene unfolds. Children clad in rags toil under the unforgiving sun, picking cotton to help feed their families. Childhood traded for survival. At Washington's tidal basin in 1920, 7 daring women pose in specially designed swimsuits, fabric that stayed modest even when wet. A quiet family moment is captured in Monroe County, Ohio, in 1896. Not far behind, a rare postcard from 1910 shows a Pepsi-Cola delivery wagon trotting through the bustling streets of New York. Its formula still new, its future unknown. In 1897, a loaded Mojave and Randsburg stagecoach prepares to depart Los Angeles, its passengers chasing the gold rush dream. The energy of Broadway pulses in a 1909 New York City scene, where men and women in elegant dress walk with purpose. In the same city, a street vendor cradles her child with one arm and a donation box in the other. A contrast as stark as the city itself. Detroit's Michigan Avenue in 1890 is a far cry from today. Narrow and intimate, lined with tightly packed buildings. That changed in the 1930s, when the South Side was raised to widen the street. In Alpine, Texas, a proud band poses with period instruments. And in Galveston, 1923, the Bathing Girl Revue makes waves, one of the earliest signs of changing social tides and the rise of modern beauty pageants. A mother stands strong with her 3 children on their farm in Shady Valley, Tennessee, 1903. Thousands of miles away in 1910, an Italian immigrant mother clutches her few belongings at Ellis Island, her children's eyes wide with hope. This gateway at the mouth of the Hudson welcomed millions seeking new lives. On the corner of 32nd and 5th Avenue in 1900, New York City buzzes with life. Time rewinds to 1872, where teacher Elsa Hobart stands with her students in a rare classroom photo. In 1908, South Carolina, 2 female cotton mill workers walk quietly down a street in Kosciuszko, Mississippi, 1913, still in their workwear. In 1903, 3 young women climb to the rooftop of D.B. Loveman's department store in Kansas, soaking in the view and the promise of modernity as long-distance communication reshapes rural America. A school wagon filled with laughing children rolls down a dirt road in 1915. School on wheels. In contrast, a blind beggar sits in the Italian Quarter of New York in 1911, his box for coins resting by his side. In 1913, Corsicana, Texas, a family of traveling farmers gathers outside their modest home, weary but unbroken. In 1895, a girl with a camera catches 2 boys mid-laughter in Clayton, New York. Hats are swapped, and childhood mischief lives forever in film. Moments like these were fleeting, but they mattered. A strange sight in 1908. Prisoners in striped uniforms march past the University Art Store in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Further north, in Alaska, circa 1890, a boy sits proudly atop a young moose, one of the quirkiest family photos ever captured. In 1864 Boston, life bustles outside a corner store at Lewis and North Streets. Castroville, Texas, around 1888, a wagon caravan crosses town with the grand silhouette of St. Louis Catholic Church towering behind, an anchor between past and present. Downtown Comanche, Texas, In the 1880s, buzzes with wagons and commerce, alive with the energy of freshly picked cotton and negotiation. On Boston's Boylston Street in 1910, electric streetcars glide past, carriages jostle for space, and pedestrians hurry along, the heartbeat of a growing city. In Helena, Alabama, 1914, anticipation fills the air as families gather to witness the magic of the Ringling Brothers Circus. And around 1886, somewhere in the American Northwest, Gray White, Louisa Jane White, and their children gather in front of their farmhouse, unaware that more than a century later, their faces and stories would still speak to us through the lens of history.